Welcome to the fourth episode of Dallas Confidential Television. We are so happy that you are here with us today. I hope you're enjoying this wonderful Saturday weather. It is perfect, and we have a great topic for you. I am your moderator today. My name is Dawn James Russell, and the topic is the myths and misconceptions of the gay community. I would like to introduce you to my panel, but before we get into that, let's talk about the LGBT. So, the struggles of the LGBT community are far and wide. There are so many conceptions or misconceptions and myths that plague their community. Their equal rights that they do not have, the laws that have not been passed that are still sitting in Congress regarding federal benefits, the ability to be married, where they can and cannot live, are they allowed to bear children, can they adopt, discrimination in the workplace, don't ask, don't tell in the military. When will they ever be able to be equally seen in just, not even just in the federal laws, but just in the streets, right? So we want to talk about that. Big and wide, near and far, black and white. When will we ever not be able to have the conversation about the gay community? So, before I go far, because as I can do, let me introduce my co-host, and then we will get the conversation started. To my right, I have...
My name is Ryan Russell. Hi, everybody. I'm Mr. Russell, if you ever recognize my name.
It's on me?
Yes, let's go.
Hey, everybody. This your boy, Shuug. I'm coming to you live here at WPS Studios, ready to get this conversation going.
Let's go.
And what's going on? This is Dr. Hollie Mayes. Let's get it cracking.
Okay, so we will be having a lot of fun with this discussion, you guys. It can be so serious sometimes, but what we want to do is talk about the little things, right? I don't want to go too deep into Congress and the laws that will or will not get passed. We want to let the seriousness lie in the Senate, right? But let's just talk about I don't want to say fun stuff, but I mean, we're going to make it as fun as possible. So let's do a little trivia here.
Okay.
To my panelists, let's see how much you know your gay trivia. Okay, before we do that, is there anyone on the panel that is gay?
We all happy.
Right, I'm happy all the time.
Jesus.
Right? I'm probably the happiest person you will ever meet.
Joy, Nirvana. I'm very happy.
Okay, so are we talking about the gay as in sexual orientation or as in personality?
I think we're referring to sexual orientation. So, no, I'm unfortunately not. I'm married to my lovely wife, but at the same time, anyone who is gay should not be judged based on what makes them happy.
Yeah. So, John.
I am in a same-sex relationship.
Okay, so you are homosexual.
I am.
And loving it.
I am. Well, you know what? Let's take it back. Let's roll it back.
Let's
roll it back. I wouldn't say that I'm just homosexual. I'll say I'm bisexual.
Are you bi-curious?
No, because I've been with both.
Is it different?
I've
What
been
is the
with
difference
both.
between bisexual and bi-curious?
Where you're with one or the other sex, but you're thinking about or curious about exploring sexually or have fantasies or emotions toward the same sex. Well,
Okay.
I'm so confused.
so, for instance, if you're married to Ryan,
Yes.
but you're having thoughts of being with the same sex, you haven't acted on it, but your thoughts often comes like, I wonder if, or what if, how does, you just
So-
have not acted on
It's pretty rough.
your thoughts.
So let's say that I am married and my husband and I are considering bringing one or the other sexes into our bedroom. So we're thinking about it. That makes us bi-curious, but not bisexual, because we
Correct.
haven't actually acted on it.
Correct.
Now let's say we
Well,
do.
one or the other will become bi-curious because if it's a female, he ain't by nothing.
Oh, right.
The female, that's
He about that life.
right. He about that.
He
You know?
Okay,
It's being real. Hey, throw that out there, John. I mean, Ryan, I got you,
No, I
dog.
appreciate it.
I got you, man.
I was waiting like.
So if we bring a woman into the bedroom, then it's completely okay.
Right.
And I'm the one that's bisexual, but he's
Not bisexual. You might be a little bi-curious.
And he bi happy.
No, he just is happy. He just is happy. They don't buy nothing. He just is happy. Ryan, I'm trying to help you out here, bro. I got you, man.
Like, yeah, do your thing.
My wife is gonna be like, stop right now, stop it.
You guys, this is totally off the subject, but hey, we into the topic.
But no, I've been engaged to a female, and I'm engaged to a male now.
Okay.
I've been with both sexes, and I love them equally, but I don't mix the two.
Okay.
So if I'm with you, I'm with you. You know, there's no, okay, I'm gonna dip off over here.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be doing that.
You know what, you guys? I'm already feeling a part 2 to this conversation because this is not in the notes. I got notes here, and this is not part of the notes, okay? Because, once again, not part of this topic, but I can see how you always hear those conversations where you hear men say, oh, no, dude, if you've been with a man, that makes you gay.
Exactly.
That's what men say.
It
But
is.
you're saying, no, when I'm with that woman, I wasn't gay when I was with that woman. I was heterosexual when I was with that woman. I wasn't thinking about a man. Or were you thinking about a man? And I don't really want you to answer that question because that's a whole different
It is a whole different topic.
But that's
and
what
it's
men-
different for each person.
Well, that's a
person-
misconception.
Yeah,
That
that's
is,
a
but
misconception.
that ain't one of our things. But we kind of led into that because
Right.
you know that's that myth and misconception.
Hey,
Exactly.
Okay. Who we need to bring it back?
I think we should talk to
I
that
know I got
about
my
that.
notes. We got
Somebody want to hear about that one. Like, for real, I think we want to say something about that. Like, real talk. Like, because I want to know about that one. Like, wait, hold on. Wait, what you just say?
I think we got the commercial. Wait, we got notes.
I
Wait.
got you. I got you.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Ooh, Jesus. Okay. Ooh, y'all done got me all off topic already. Okay.
This topic is juicy.
I'm telling you, y'all,
It's
it's
juicy.
hard being the moderator. It's hard being in this seat. I see, Bookie, what you deal with every day. I'm sorry. I can't call him that on the show. My bad. Okay. Let me get back on topic.
Knocked
Oh,
off.
Lord. Okay. Back to the question. I didn't even get to do my fun fact yet. Guys, what's the gayest city in the United States of America?
What?
That's
gayest
the
city?
gayest city.
Atlanta.
Nah.
I would say San Francisco probably has the highest.
I'm with my man. Yeah.
Per density.
San Francisco is
Right.
crazy.
Subculture.
Okay.
Wait, I beg to differ on both of those, though. You know what the gayest city is? Honestly?
Dallas.
It's Florida.
Florida?
It's Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Jacksonville of Miami, Florida.
Miami, Jacksonville,
Bruh.
Atlanta, and San
Bruh.
Francisco.
Yep.
Okay? Stay tuned. I'll have the answer after this commercial break.
Real quickly, guys, if you would like to support us on the show and like to become a sponsor of the show, do me a favor, make sure you contact us via email at hello.dallasconfidentialtv. If you would like to be a financial supporter of this show, I mean, we need all kinds of things from lightings to cameras to mics, and you would like to be a supporter financially, you're more than welcome to Cash App us at $Dallas Confidential TV. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors today. I want to say thank you to Rescue Me Podcast, where you can find each and every week on Spotify, Google Play, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Big shout out to Shuug's Pillow Talk radio show every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Fishbowl Network. Bishop Chronicles podcast every Monday at 11 on YouTube Live, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And a big shout out to WPS Studios here at 900 East Beltline Road, DeSoto, Texas, 75115, where the owner and executive producer of the show is Dr. Vanell Warren. All righty, back to you, Don.
Thanks, you guys, for staying tuned in. Okay, so the question before we went to commercial break is, what is the gayest city in the United States? My panelists thought it was Miami, I forgot the other Florida city, San Francisco, and Atlanta. And the answer is Provincetown, Massachusetts. That's the gayest
That's because
city
nobody won't find out.
in America. And the crazy thing is the population of Provincetown, Massachusetts is 2,900. Less
Oh, but
than
that's why, though.
3,000. Can you? 20% of the population in Provincetown is gay. There's only 3,000 people. Can you imagine? So that's 600 people is gay. That's crazy.
Okay, so that's.
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
That's crazy.
Right.
Okay, so the first myth or misconception that we're going to tackle today is sexual orientation. Being LGBT is only about sex. That's what the misconception is. So, talking about heterosexual persons, lesbian, gay, and bisexual, sexual orientation is only about who you're attracted to. It's only about sex. So I think I'm going to shoot this one to John. How upset do you get that people think that because you are gay, that you're attracted to everybody that's gay?
Which camera you want me to look in?
Right here.
You know which camera you looking
Don't you
at?
get upset with that all the time? And they think that you're always
Just
you're
because
attracted to
they're
everything.
gay? No, I'm just being facetious when I say
Oh.
it.
Technically, they can see you in both.
Right, because I want to know. I want to let y'all know.
Your
out
face
there.
is right up on that.
Right.
Let them know, John.
Everybody
Let 'em know.
that's gay don't want you or your man.
Right.
Wow.
So that is the biggest misconception when
Yes.
it comes to lesbian women or homosexual men.
Wow.
They do not want your husband or your wife. Everybody, just like in the heterosexual community,
Right.
everybody don't want everybody. You know,
Right.
Just because, and it may be that your spouse or whoever you're with may be wanting us. So
Good point.
that's the very biggest misconception about the homosexual community, thinking that everybody wants your man or your woman. No, it's flipped.
And I think it's really good to point that out because Hollie, you said that your best friend is gay, right?
Yes, yeah.
So do you deal with that a lot when you and your homeboy are out? Do you wonder if people think that, okay, do you ever think, oh, well, I can't go out in public with my homeboy because people will think that, you know, because he gay, I'm gay. Like, do you ever, what are your thoughts on this misconception and myth?
No, I don't know. I'm so secure in who I am and what I do. That don't even matter to me. When I'm out with my boy, I'm out with my boy. You know what I'm saying? We don't sit there and try to itemize whether someone's looking at gayness or this. That's just my dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you what I do look at, and I'm gonna say this if you don't mind, Dunn. Because people know I'm a pastor, and they see me walking out with a guy that may be homosexual. Because you got a lot of them dipping into it and they try to be, you know, that may be something that's of a concern to see what perception is. But as far as if you know, not really, that's not a big concern.
Do you ever wonder if they think that you're a pastor on the down low because your best friend is gay?
Nah, they know better.
They don't know that.
They trust me, they know better. They know, folks that know me, they know better. But no, to be serious, you're right, they don't know.
They don't know.
I don't know. I never think about it like that.
They don't know.
They don't know.
I really don't think about it like that because my thing is this: I'm out with a person, and I don't get it twisted. I don't itemize who I call friend or who that, because you're talking about a guy that done saved my life before. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not tripping on what you think.
My thing is, what does it matter?
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. I don't
cares?
trip on what you think. To be honest with you, if a person want to come see me about it, they can come see me about it. You know what I'm saying? Or have a conversation. But I don't differentiate. I don't look at it like, oh, well, you're gay, so I got to treat you different because it make me look different.
Most people are not going to see you about it because as much as we talk about the gay community, we don't talk about it in the open.
That's true. We don't. And we're certainly not going to talk about how we personally feel about it. My whole thing is I'm a person, and everybody's people. I don't like and we've talked about this, I don't like the segregation of, oh, well, you're this and you're that. Man, I don't care nothing about none of that.
What I don't like is the caricature of the gay lifestyle.
Right.
They,
Because everybody has a different lifestyle.
Exactly.
Right.
And the thing is just like with a token black actress or the token black actor, we see it in Hollywood. They pick that one person, whether it's the Halle Berry, the Angela Bassett, and they are the only ones that get these roles. Or you got the Idris Elbas, and that's what they feel like. Okay, we have satisfied the black community because we have these black token black people in these roles. So bringing it to the LGBT, they'll pick these particular or one type of homosexual character and feel like it's everybody.
Right.
That is
That's
the
a good
big
point.
misconception about being gay. Is multifaceted for one. It's a multifaceted community.
Right,
We come
right,
in all
right.
different shapes, sizes, shades of colors, and everything. So this what pisses me off about it is that you'll get someone that's very flamboyant, and it changes the perception of everybody to make it being homosexual or gay a negative connotation.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of reality TV, and it's amazing how they will intentionally put a LGBT person on the show, and they are extra all the time.
Extra.
Super
you
extra.
can never ever just have
normal
a normal, or he just can't be a businessman that's metrosexual.
That's a good point.
And he just can't be, just fly and just professional and just perfectly masculine and be gay, but
Right,
he got
exactly.
to be
Right.
all the way over the top.
Right.
And he
Hair
gotta
and
snap
nails and-
fingers
yeah.
nails. I mean, he got to
Right.
You gotta
be
be
Magic
real
Johnson's
flamboyant.
son all day long, right?
And that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. That is an entity, and they are free to do that. That is how they express themselves. I remember 20 years ago, I was at work, and this young lady asked me just out the blue, "Are you gay?" And I was like, "What made you ask me that? Where did that come from?" And she said, "Well, you're always well put together." I said, "So because I'm well put together, that makes me gay?" "Well, you're not thuggish, ruggish." I said, "Hold on, let me stop you.
Wow.
Some of the most thuggish, ruggish ones that I've come across have been
gay.
gay."
My best friend, he was in jail for 7 years for shooting a person, killing a person. Just saying.
Well, that's so funny that you mentioned that, because I have a very good friend that is stay in and out of jail, and when we would go to the club when he wasn't in jail, and I would be like, "Oh my God, look at him, he is the bomb," and he's like, "He's a bottom, trust me, I know him from jail," and he stayed with
She said he a what?
he's-
Bottom.
he's a bottom, which means that
Sexual
trust me,
role.
yeah, he gets got in jail. And he was like, "You
Oh.
know that
Give me a
because
got,
he's the
got,
one."
got.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
when
they got
he's out,
terminology, though.
yeah, when he's out,
It
he
was
is the thug. But trust me, when he's in, he getting handled. And so I say that it takes ones in jail to know the ones that when they not.
Jesus.
And so
Right.
I was like, "Dang it!" Right?
So I'm gonna flip
gonna
this.
rhyme like
I'm gonna flip this on y'all because there is a new fetish. I'm not gonna say new, but there is a fetish that's out there where straight men that are married love to have sex with transgender women.
We got to talk about that one. We
Where
got
their
to.
fantasy is they allow the transgender woman, which is one that has breasts but still has the male part, and let them penetrate them.
Oh wow.
That's a little rough.
And you know what? I'm
that's,
really having to, since we're talking about the misconception of one, and that is sexual orientation, because when we get to the second misconception, we're off of sex. So I'll just go ahead and allow this
Right.
one in before our commercial. And I'm having to visualize this because
Wow.
I don't really understand the transgender thing. And you're absolutely, I mean, I'm visualizing it, but I never really understood a man that's attracted to a trans woman, because I'm like, that's a woman. So why are you not just attracted to a regular woman? But now I understand, because you're saying she has the parts of a man, although
Right.
she looks like a woman.
She looks like you, but still has
But has
the
the-
same
Yeah,
thing.
So
but
that's
same
why. And
quick.
see, that's why.
I still don't get it.
I do, because she still has the men parts. I always thought she had already had her sexual her sexual reassignment, but you're saying she's not completely assigned.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why. So she. Okay. Now that makes sense.
But that still goes back into the misconceptions of these what is gay and what isn't gay, because what you see visually may not always be what it is. Just because you see a
Yeah.
feminine guy out there doesn't mean that he's gay, but you have this guy that looks just as straight as these two guys and be the main one that's getting penetrated.
So why would he just not want a woman that tosses his salad? Because back 20 years ago, I had home guys. It's so funny when I'm thinking about stuff, because I've been knowing John since middle school, and I be wanting to call names, but I'm like, "Oh, John know these guys, so I can't call names, right?"
Please don't.
I be wanting to call names.
Well, I probably already know.
You may already know. Okay, so I know guys that used to like girls to toss salads. So why is that any? maybe
Now,
because there's no
what is
penetration.
talk again?
That's where girls lick on guys' anal holes. But I guess licking an anal hole and
Oh,
penetrating an anal hole is
Well,
two
you
totally
knew
different
that,
things.
Ryan.
Bookie, you knew that. Girls
Ryan,
like,
you're from
He didn't know
California.
that. He didn't know
I
the
mean,
time.
not really. I mean, I
yeah,
heard about it.
men
But
like to have their salads
I
tossed.
guess
That's
because
what it's
I
called.
never had it done, so I don't know.
I got such a bad
Okay.
joke about this.
Okay. So we're totally not
Promise I do.
tossing
It was like,
salads.
oh,
We're
okay.
penetrating salads now. We're eating salads.
No one's doing that.
We're not talking. What is it called?
Well, none of that.
Okay. What is it called when a
Penetration.
penetration? Okay.
Penetration.
So it's just not.
It's still.
Okay.
So let me ask this question. Wait, hold on.
We got a commercial.
No, y'all gonna explain this. You're gonna explain this. I don't understand. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't understand why, if there's a feminine role and a masculine role, which I'm assuming it is, if there's a feminine and a masculine role, and the feminine role is the feminine person in nature. So that means that you're the person that's taking on the female
Yeah.
role, and whoever the masculine role is attracted to that female role. Well, it still goes back to the question: why not just get a female? If they're acting like females, wearing dresses, this, that, and the other, I don't.
I don't think
It's a
never-
fetish.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't
think
get
it's
it.
a fetish. I think
It
it's
is a
just something
fetish.
like, let me just try to see how it goes. Like girls.
No,
like,
it's a whole art.
kiss
Out,
each
it's a
other
whole
and just-
section out there.
Just like whoa.
I be so confused, man. Let's go to
Well,
commercial.
John can tell you. Wait, let.
No, I mean, I get it. It is confusing because I have questions myself. Like, okay, what? But I mean, I'm just saying, misconceptions of
Right.
gay and the reality of it is what you think is gay may not always be gay, and what you're denying is gay is gay.
Okay.
That's scary.
All right. Yeah. That's. Well, I'm married.
We're headed
I'm
to a
good.
commercial, you guys. Please stay with us. We'll be back. It's just gonna get juicier and more confusing.
Once again, everybody, if you would like to be a sponsor of this show, or you would like to give comments and concerns and questions to the show, you're more than welcome to do so at our email, hello.dallasconfidential.tv. Again, that's hello.dallasconfidential.tv. Also, if you would like to be a supporter of this show financially, you are more than welcome to do that. We need a lot of things. We could use your help with lighting, cameras, mics, you name it. If you would like to be an intern of this show, once again, email, but financially, you can go to our Cash App at $ Dallas Confidential TV. Again, $ Dallas Confidential TV. Also, do me a favor, make sure that you keep us in everything that you do. So make sure that you write down hashtag Dallas Confidential TV on everything that you connect with, social media, Instagram, Periscope, Facebook, you name it, YouTube. Make sure that you're hashtagging Dallas Confidentials. Quick shout out to our sponsors once again. We want to give a shout out to hashtag Rescue Me Podcast, Shuug's Pillow Talk Radio Show on Fishbowl Network, Bishop Chronicles Podcast, and also WPS Studios located here in DeSoto, Texas. We thank you guys, and like I say, anything we could do to assist, let us know. Back to you, Don.
Thank you very much, Holly. Thank you guys for staying tuned. We are talking about the myths and misconceptions of the gay community. So, second question, moving on to our second myth and misconception. Guys, what percentage of youth are LGBT? Youth would be between the ages of 19 and 24 in the United States. What percentage of youth are LGBT?
That's a trick question.
Right now, I'm gonna say about 80%.
80%.
What's the age
wow.
range again? Wait, what's the age range?
Between 19 and 24.
We can go younger than that.
Yeah, I'll go 80%.
80%? 80%?
I'll
That's
say-
a lot.
I'll say.
Are you
40.
serious, Holly? Being a pastor, you think 80% of our
What being a pastor got to do with that?
Well, in the country.
I think 60%.
No, in the United
Wait,
States, yes.
Well,
What is
I
being a
say-
pastor got to do with that?
Because
maybe
you think that
10%.
many of our youth are lost in the
Yes.
world.
You want to know how many I think that are
John,
pastors?
excuse me, I didn't mean to say. Okay, don't take that the wrong way. when I
Wait,
say that.
you want to know how many I think are pastors? See, that's a question that you should have asked me.
I know several.
Because you think 80% is bad? No, it ain't no different show. It's this show.
Part 3 of the
It's
show.
no.
No,
What
no.
percentage of youth do you think are LGBT?
About
You
70 to
said
70.
80?
I said 10%. I don't
Thank
know.
you, Rev Russ.
I'm like, whoa.
No,
80.
no.
You said 80 and
I'll say,
Bishop
and
Hollie
we're
Mayes.
talking now. Here's the truth behind this. We're not talking about statistics. We're talking about facts because a lot of it is in the closet. A lot of it is in the closet.
Okay, but I don't know. Then that won't show up.
That's why we're saying 80%.
Okay.
What is your statistics?
Yeah, what's your statistics
My
say?
statistics say 9.6%.
Is that why Ryan said 10 because he saw those statistics? Ryan might have looked over there and saw that. You ain't got that on point.
In my mind, I'm like, nah, it can't be 80.
It's 80%, bro.
It's about 80%.
Are
Bruh,
you serious?
listen, let me tell you something.
Where y'all living at? 80% of these kids are
Let me tell you
LGBT.
something. I do work with a lot of local schools when they was
Oh
in
my
school.
God.
And let me tell you this. And I know because there's no true
If it's
way.
80%, I'm moving my kid.
But there's no true
Why?
way to find that out. That's not an accurate
So you
statistic.
say out of the closet, how many?
Well, yeah, because you don't. That's
Yeah,
not an
gotta
accurate
define
statistic.
it.
Because
Yeah.
most people won't tell you that they're gay because they won't even tell their parents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna. That's not an
I mean,
accurate.
you got 5 kids. That's basically saying that 3 out of 5 of your kids are gay.
Could be possibility.
Possibly.
It could be a possibility. That don't mean
That's
nothing to
not
me.
saying
you go-
You're saying it is.
Well, listen, if you
No,
go to
you asked me what I thought the
Right.
percentage was, and I said
So
80%.
you're saying that it's that 3
Could
out
be.
of 5 of your
My kids are still
gay.
kids. I got 2 in high school. I mean, 1 in high school, 1 going to college, and it's a possibility that those 2 could be gay. Don't have a bearing on how I love them.
or have a sexual.
No, they could.
interaction.
Let's just leave it where it is. They could be gay.
So you think it's something internally that they're gay, or something that where their exposure could possibly make them curious about it?
Well, I feel like because now that we're in the world that we are, the modern world, gay and homosexuality is being presented out there now, making it more comfortable and
It's
easier
so
for people to do
accepted.
it. Because now when you go to
Yeah, it's
these
super
schools,
accepted, man.
That's why I said even younger than 19, because I've gone to several schools and you see guys with guys, girls with girls, guys dressing up, going with makeup on
Oh,
now, with
absolutely.
lashes
We know
now.
that.
Girls are being more what we refer to as the stud, and lesbian type of relationships. Even at 9th grade, 10th grade, 8th grade, what do my question, even to myself, living this lifestyle, what do you know about this already? This is too young. And me personally, I get it. And I tell people all the time, I would not put this lifestyle. If you're choosing this lifestyle, I wouldn't choose. I wouldn't have chosen it. But there are some that feel like they were born that way. I don't feel like I was born that way. It's just something that happened to come across
Okay, we'll get to that.
my path.
Okay, we're gonna
So-
get to that. So we'll get to that in just a second. Oh Lord, y'all are killing me with this.
But
okay,
yes,
moving on to the second misperception. Woo, Jesus. Okay, second misperception: all LGBT people are alike in terms of politics, appearance, income, and where they live. So, although people's awareness of LGBT diversity is much greater than what it used to be. Basically, the misperception is that all gay people live the same walk of life. That basically all their parents are the same, that they're either all poor or they're all wealthy, that they're all the same race, that they all live in the same community, that they're all trans or they're all bisexual, that they all eat the same thing. John, I don't know, you're like, why don't you keep coming to me? But this is because you're here to break that myth for us. Help us understand, because we think that, like for example, here in Dallas, we think that 99% of the gay people live on Oak Lawn.
Or in Oakland, right.
Or in Oak Lawn. That's what we think.
Well, that's just like with being black. They feel like all black people eat chitlins and hog maw and all this, that, and the other, right? So that's the misconception. That's just people's ignorance at that point.
Yeah.
Everyone lives everywhere, and just like with white people trying to put black people all in South Dallas. And now South Dallas is ran down and look the way it looks. Now they're trying to gentrify it. That's because white people were in South Dallas before the black people were.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And so now,
Right.
the same with being gay or living in the gay community. Of course, one of the biggest misconceptions was they were either had a lot of money or they had to dress a certain kind of way or they lived this fabulous lifestyle. No, again, homosexual is just as normal as heterosexual. It's all the same. It looks like you and me and you. So again, this statistics or whatever, it's just all boils down to someone's ignorance.
Well, let me give you the biggest one. The biggest one dealing with LGBT is that all gay people have HIV, or they have the biggest amount of sexually transmitted diseases.
And that can be proven wrong because you go look at it and say HIV comes from heterosexual.
Okay. Well, that's the one
Actually,
that
it
we
comes
want to
from
talk
animals.
about.
I mean, animals, but it's
Like
spread
a
more
venereal disease.
amongst the heterosexual.
But how do you feel about that? I mean, as a community, how does that make you guys feel knowing that that's put out there? That, you know, you guys are the biggest
doesn't.
transmitter of STDs.
It doesn't. I mean, probably when it first came about, when it first started coming out, yes. But when the numbers don't lie, and so when the facts come out, you just brush it off. That's it. I mean, it is. I mean, some people ignorance you just don't entertain at all. And I'm just one of those type of people. I don't entertain the stupidness, their ignorance, because everybody wants to blame someone else other than themselves. And really, whether you gay or straight, you just need to protect yourself, period. And the best way to protect yourself is not having it. Even it doesn't matter if you not having sex, abstinence. Even if you're married, you know, you have men stepping out on their wives, you have wives stepping out on their men, whether it's with the same sex or another sex. So, and then it's all unprotected sex. So people just are careless, period.
Yeah, and I think as a society, stuff changes over time because we can go back to how Hollywood in the 70s would portray people as superfly, as gangsters, drug dealers, and things of that nature. And then it was more appealing for us to be displayed or for us to have the image of either a crackhead, a drug dealer, or homosexual or gay. And you can go from things from the 70s with Superfly to men on films on Living Color, which if it's a display of comedy, everybody makes fun of themselves in some fashion sense to where you can say, well, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this electric bill, but we're gonna figure it out. And they come together as far as comedy was a sense of how you healed or dealt with it, whether it be like Kevin Hart making fun of the LGBT community with his son saying, I don't want my son to be gay, but was it him making fun of the gay community, or was it him just saying how his experience with his son, how he was transparent on how he felt what his son did, how it affected him, but not necessarily saying I'm attacking the gay community. So if it's a sense of I'm laughing or it's a sense of comedy, the intent was just to laugh, not to say like, well, gay people all have HIV, or well, all black people are all criminals, or all crime in the black community is black and black crime. Well, is all crimes in white community, is that white on white crime, or is it an exception? So it's almost like there's an exception when it's depending on the audience that dictates it. And I think so much to where the media plays off of that, to where if it makes money for the LGBT community to make it political, they'll focus just on that aspect of it, but they won't focus on how many of them are being beat up or abused or shot at. Just like with black people, if they're getting shot at or abused, they won't show that this was a victim. They'll say, well, he had a history of taking drugs or, just something that was negative. There's always that negative twist that I think a lot of people have to overcome, that stereotype, because a lot of people just fear the unknown. And it's sad because we can all get along. We should not judge each other in no shape or form, because we all, in the end, do things out of love. And I think that's the thing, is that if we can get along as sisters and brothers, I think history has taught us they'll fear that more because they fear what they've done to us. And that's the thing, they think we're going to do the same thing to us as far as slavery, and we could be going on about our lives and just having fun. So it's just sad that it's come to this point to where it's already hard enough to being black. Now, as a black male who's homosexual or gay or lesbian, it's just another way of them using their judgment against you for profit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it also is just the lack of intelligence. And just like you said, I think for John, the importance of this show is just breaking down the ignorance of myths and misconceptions. And the greatest thing about us putting together this show is just the awareness and wanting to bring light and knowledge to things that tear down us as a race and a culture. Right. So, John, thank you for, taking the time so that we can do this.
Oh, yeah.
So let's take a commercial break, and we will come back so that we can have another fun fact.
We thank you guys so much for joining our show. We thank you so much for being a part of the growth of Dallas Confidential TV. If you want to be a supporter of the show, you want to be a sponsor of the show, please contact us. Whatever your gift is, whatever your education or your talent is, we want you to be a part of it, of this show. So please do me a favor. Make sure that you email us at hello@dallasconfidential.tv. And if you financially want to be a supporter, please Cash App us at Dallas Confidential TV. We want to be a part of everything that you do, so make sure that you hashtag Dallas Confidential TV. Again, here's a list of our sponsors. You too can be a sponsor. We want to put you on this list. But all you have to do is email us, and we will make sure that we give you the necessary information to put you on this list. We are trying to grow, and we're trying to make this thing global, and we need your help, whether it's financial or whether you have a gift or a unique education that can come in and help us build in areas of this show. So thank you so much for joining us. Continue to keep us uplifted. Back to you, Dunn.
Thank you very much, Holly. As you know, the show is about myths and misconceptions of the gay community. We have had a great conversation. We're halfway through the show. So the next fun fact, guys, are you ready? Question number 3. What is the average age of coming out? What are you guys thinking? I'm not turning my screen this way so Ryan can't cheat this time since Holly said he's cheating. What is the average age of coming out? What do we got?
I don't know. I say probably 15, but Dwayne Wade's son talking about already having having surgery already. So I don't know anymore. What I used to think set the standards, I have no idea. So I'll say 15.
Okay, so not when a kid think they may be gay, but when they actually are telling, I'm going to say maybe, I won't say their friends, because kids are probably way more comfortable with their friends, but when they tell someone that they fear or someone that they respect. Mm-hmm. So what are your thoughts, John, Holly? Average age of coming out? And the statistics show that 21. It's dropped. Let me give y'all that hint. The age has dropped.
16.
In 1970, it was one thing, and in 2017, it dropped.
Well, now I'm gonna say teenage years.
Okay, so give me a number.
16, 17.
Okay, and Ryan, what did you say?
15.
Okay, Holly.
15, 14, something like that.
Okay, you are all right. The average age of coming out is now between 14 and 16 years old.
So I got a question. What is coming out? Like what does that mean? Like,
so that's when you tell your parents that you feel that you are attracted to the same sex.
Oh, that's just your parents?
Well, someone that you respect. So we're not talking about a counselor, because kids tell people, teachers and stuff all the time, but it's not your teacher's responsibility. I know teachers that know stuff all the time and they don't tell the parent, because legally that's not their responsibility to let that parent know. I am very much so in my God Valley's teachers on speed dial, because they're not going to come and tell me stuff, so I always call them and be like, well, tell me what you know. Now, if I back them in a corner, they'll tell me because I'm going to them for information, but teachers don't readily call you and be like, oh, let me tell you that your kid, was like kissing a boy in the hallway. They're not going to tell you that, because they really feel like it's not their place. They're not their parent. It's not my job to parent your kid. If you come to me and ask me, I'll tell you, but... So I always do that. So not really those people, and absolutely not their friends. But so it's someone that they respect, like grandparents, aunties, uncles, parents. Those are like.
So let me ask you this: knowing what you know thus far, how would you feel if your child came out?
Oh Lord, no.
What do you mean?
What does that mean?
No.
I don't understand what that means.
What that mean?
No, Valley can't be gay.
What do you mean she can't be gay?
No, we've already talked about it.
No, see, and that's the problem with parents and kids that are afraid to come out if they are saying that.
I'm telling you, right? She would just gonna have to be afraid.
So you're gonna beat her like Kevin Hart?
Absolutely.
Did Kevin Hart beat his kid?
No, he made the joke.
Luckily, my daughter don't have Facebook and she won't see this show. But Valley is talking about her mom. I'm not gay. Wonderful, thank you.
So
I told her she can't be gay.
Here's my thing. So
you guys, this is getting off the topic. Don't ask me that, John.
Why? No. Okay, so at the end of the day, this show, we laugh, we joke, and we're breaking
But that's
down
a
the
serious
misconceptions.
question. That's a really good question.
But I want to be able to help someone that
that's
is
a real
watching.
question.
No, don't ask me.
No, living your truth. Come on out.
I don't wanna live
Come
my
out.
truth.
That's coming out.
I don't
Coming
wanna-
out is living in your truth.
I want to stick to the script.
No,
That ain't what we do. That's whack. You don't do that.
This is gonna help someone. This is gonna help that person
Yeah.
that's trying to come out. It's also gonna help
Because-
that parent try to help understand their child.
Because I'm a pastor, and I'm gonna be honest with you. If we're gonna talk about myths and misconceptions, let's just talk about it. All right?
Yeah.
Because the myth and misconception, I know a lot of pastors right now. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna call names, and I had to do counseling with them because their son just came to them and said, "Hey, Pop, like this is the situation," and they don't know how to operate going forward in a church that preaches against homosexuality. That's just being real with you.
Why? Okay, so now that you say that, why is it that the church only preaches against homosexuality, but they're not preaching against infidelity? They're not preaching against lying. They're not preaching against backbiting. They're not preaching
But
against.
they do, but
it is a big emphasis on homosexuality. Is it because you can see, or what you think that you see,
Right.
is the obvious? Because you can't look at somebody and say, "Ooh, they're a liar. Ooh, they're a murderer." But you can look at somebody and say, or think, "Oh, they gay."
Well-
or you can see that homosexual spirit on them, but you can't look at somebody and just be like,
He
they're
a liar. Well, I think the misconception biblically, if we're just going to talk about it, the misconception biblically is we don't use correct theology. And the problem with talking about all sin biblically is theological interpretation. We put, because you may talk about lying, but you don't talk about it at the same level as we do homosexuality. We'll use terms like abomination, and we'll claim that abomination is different than sin. Like it's a different level of sin.
right, God hates it.
Right, which is not true. One term you have to understand biblically, there were terms that were used more intellectually or by intellectuals, and there were some that were used by those that were not as educated. So terms like abomination still means the same thing as sin, or you don't like it, or whatever the case may be. It's just a different word used by a different group of people. So at the end of the day, technically, if we use it in the right sense, whether I talk about homosexuality, and we're talking biblically, where I talk about homosexuality or I talk about an adulterer, it's the same light when it comes to God. You see what I'm saying? But you are correct. But we get in a situation as pastors because now we have to expose our business. We have to expose who we are, and a lot of pastors don't like exposing the obvious.
But you have to.
I get it.
That's how you reach the next man.
No, I can dig it. I'm with you.
Because how can you tell me about anything that I'm going through if you're not being exposed, being transparent enough to let me know, hey, I've dealt with this.
I get it.
Let's not see the Bible. See, the devil, this is where he wins. And when he try to keep everybody bound and in the closet and not speaking their truth. Therefore, he makes you feel ashamed, embarrassed, to be able to say, you know what, in my lifetime, it may have been in your past, I've had homosexual thoughts. Did I act on it? No. But I can understand. This is how you reach and disciple people, and you fish
I agree.
for people.
I agree.
You have to be able to connect to them on some level. There's a thin line between love and judge. You have to, it says, with love and kindness I have I drawn you.
Yeah.
So you cannot come to someone that is living a different lifestyle or sexual orientation than you and pass judgment on them, because you immediately have cut them at the, you already cut off at the neck at that point.
Right.
Yeah, because you can't talk about what the Bible say. You can't talk about the speck in my eye when you have a log in yours.
Exactly. So
it's like your vision is blocking what you see through your lens. May be different from your perspective, but it doesn't matter when you start the beginning or the end. As long as you come to Him for salvation, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
So we're not here to judge, and that's where it's wrong. We're taking on the role of the oppressors that did us during slavery, where they had the house Negro in the house, the field Negro in the field, and they was treating them different based on complexion. Now we're judging people based on their sexual preference or sexual orientation, where we're not supposed to judge. We're supposed to say, look, We come with you with love. We accept you as who you are. Once you get the word or enlightenment, you're an adult. It's up to you to do what you need to do. But at the end of the day, we still love you regardless.
Right. And see, when it hits your home, it hits different. Now, it's okay for Susie's child of her to be gay. And
Right.
You laugh and kiki, girl, da-da-da. But when it hits home, it's like, oh, hell no.
Right.
No. And so at the same time, you are breaking the communication between you and your child because you've already shut it down. If it's something that you want to explore, you're not with it. And so that breaks the communication between you and your child.
Right, right.
Yeah.
John, I completely agree. Period. I completely agree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm right. I'm wrong.
I don't think you're wrong.
Disagree with you.
I don't think you're wrong.
I don't think you're wrong.
That's your truth.
Yeah, that's the truth. Because
Right,
because I don't personally want. Let me just be very clear. I'm a grown man. I'm a man first. I don't want my son to have the psychological or emotional or physiological preference of a woman. I just don't. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Just like I don't want my daughter to have the same in retrospect as a man. However, you are what you are. And I think that's the bottom line. Obviously, and I'm just gonna put this at done. If your daughter came to you and said, "Hey, listen, I want to date that woman," yes, obviously you're gonna be like, "Wait, are you nuts?" But that still, it doesn't defeat the fact that that's still your daughter, and you're gonna love her and cherish her. There's a lot of things I did in my life my mother just absolutely, positively don't agree with, but she still loved me when I failed, when I messed up, all those things. And I'm not saying homosexuality is a failure. I'm just saying, in a parent's eye, that's as adamant at it as you are, you're like, well, I must have failed. It's not a failure, and people need to hear that because they think it's something that they did that caused their child to do that, and that's not true.
Yeah, because it's hard enough, me as a father, when my daughter to date a boy, and I'm like, no, you're still a little girl, no, I'm still the protector. So you add something in addition to that to the equation that you never envisioned and never foresaw, and once it hit home, that's when you have to deal with reality on. Once the pressure is on, however you react to it, you're going to react to it. But what are you going to do? Are you going to just abandon this child and throw them on the side of the road just because?
Well, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
That happens a lot in the LGBT community where young children are homeless because, this is where the term houses have come from, because those who have come out to their parents, they disown them. They kick them out, they beat them up.
That's
so
crazy.
They go and find like the house of, I'm just going to say House of Darian, but that's not really the house, but a house of whatever. And they have these gay mothers and gay fathers and gay sisters and gay brothers. Yes, it's a whole community that's set up,
Family.
Yeah, this is now your family.
Wow.
That because of a situation of you can't go home. So this now is your new house. This is your new family. You go and move in with them, and you're raised. I mean, you have your gay uncles, your gay dads, your gay mom and grandparents, all that. It is a whole hierarchical thing.
Because almost like they was considered as an outcast, so
Right.
they found acceptance.
And so there's places like the Abounding Prosperity that my friend Kirk Myers is very big here in Dallas, and he and I thank God for him because it's a nonprofit organization, and it helps the Black gay community with testing and with homelessness and education, and he created jobs for him. He has different events every Juneteenth and Gay Pride where he brings in these big celebrities, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. He's had a lot of different people, Monica and Brandy, even come here just to show love to the Black LGBT community. He's even with the transgender young lady that got killed last year in Malaysia. He put up money to help fund her funeral. So this is something big that he got going on in the Black gay community. Now, the white community has always had the Resource Center. And of course, it's open to all, but it is really geared to, it's in Oakland and it's geared to the white community. But Kirk Myers started the Abounding Prosperity, which gears to younger Black, the gay community as a whole, but he really focuses and hones in on the younger community.
So really quickly, you guys, we need to take a commercial break, and then we will be right back with this topic. As I say every week, we're probably going to need a part 2 to this topic. I really do think we were probably going to have to do a part 2 to this topic. Seriously, this time.
Yes, I think so, because I really want to, outside of getting past the myths and misconceptions, we really need to be able to help a family, even if it's just one person.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
And let me say this, not just help the gay community, we need to help the heterosexual community as well.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You see what I'm saying?
I
Because
understand.
I'm gonna be honest with you. So I mean, you've enlightened me on some things where I'm like, it helps me. I have members that are gay, so and they're troubled, but they would talk about certain things, and I don't know what's out there for them. I don't know how I can help.
Right.
Yeah.
And you just offered something that allowed me to be able to connect with, to say, hey, wait, hold on, let's see if we can go this route here.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to quit trying, and I'm gonna say this, and we can go to break, but this is in my heart, and I've been sitting here on this. We got to quit trying to make every homosexual person heterosexual if that's not their choice.
Right.
Yeah.
We got to quit that.
Yeah,
and I don't care whether you're a pastor or whatever. That's not your choice.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right. We're going to commercial. Be right back.
Once again, if you would like to be a supporter of this show and you would like to sponsor this show, whether it's be a cameraman, whether you want to produce, whether you want to come out and be an intern, please get in touch with us via hello.dallasconfidential.tv. Again, that's hello.dallasconfidential.tv. If you want to financially support us, we need all the help you guys can get. Please cash up us at $ Dallas Confidential TV. Keep us a part of all of your social media posts by hashtagging Dallas Confidential TV. Again, here's a shot of our sponsors. We want to thank each and every sponsor, and we want to thank those that are considering being sponsors. Just reach out to us if you would like to be a sponsor. Again, at hello.dallasconfidential.tv. Back to you, Don.
Thank you very much, Holly. I appreciate that. So, there's so much that we haven't had a chance to talk about this week. We will definitely do a part 2. Holly, are we doing a part 2 next week? You want to go ahead and pick up next week on the same topic?
Sure.
Okay, so we will pick up on the same topic next week. Let's go ahead and do another fun fact, because it's really serious. I don't want to take away from the seriousness, but we definitely want to make sure that we keep it fun also, because it's a fun topic also, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not only are we talking about gays, but we're gay while talking about gays, right? And I'm hoping that you're loving our new attire this week. You guys seem to have fun with what we wear.
Guess whose idea was that, y'all?
This was sponsored by hashtag Rescue Me Podcast.
Yes.
Okay, next fun fact. What's the gayest state?
What?
I didn't know it was a gay state.
Ryan, don't be cheating.
I ain't looking at that.
Holly
I'm
said
looking
you
at
cheat.
No, I'm
New York.
I'm trying to learn about the state.
New York.
Gayest state. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holly.
Seattle.
Your state.
Washington.
Oh,
Tripping.
Lord.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say California. I'm gonna say California.
What you got? Okay, so we got Washington, California,
New York.
New York. The gayest state is California.
Now I kind of figured that.
Okay, California. Number 2 is Texas.
I don't believe it.
Number 3 is New York. Number 4 is Florida.
I knew Florida was up there.
Yes. Okay, so I have a few more misconceptions, but we'll pick up on those next week, you guys. I have some really great misconceptions. We're going to be talking about discrimination. There is no federal law against discrimination. There's no federal law against discrimination. There are states with laws against discrimination, but there's no federal law. I bet you guys didn't know that.
Wait, when you say federal law, what are you saying?
There's
United
no-
States, you can't
yeah.
go to the Supreme
There's
Court.
no Supreme Court that says that you cannot discriminate against gay people. States have enacted
Like
non-discrimination.
civil rights?
Well, yeah, that's
Not federally. States have, because
That's
we
a
have
constitutional-
It here in Texas. Nope.
It's not in the
States.
Constitution.
States have.
it is freedom of
No.
expression.
No.
I
There
thought
is-
civil rights violation.
No,
It's a-
it's
like,
not.
I'm gonna have to call my wife on
There
that
is
one.
not.
Baby, if you're listening to this show, my wife's in law school.
In the
Baby,
United States, there is no federal law against discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity.
well, yeah, that's right. Because you don't have to like a person.
I can literally,
Yeah.
and I literally,
I can't fire you
can
because-
drag John in 28 states. I can drag John, not in Texas, because Texas has federal protection.
Drag him where?
Drag him in the street in 28 states,
Like
not
defamation?
Texas. No, physically, I can drag John.
No, that's a criminal. That's a criminal. No.
Not if I do. No. Not again. Because I mean, he can get me because if I do it because of his sexual orientation, I can do it. And if he says I did it because he is gay, I can say I didn't do it.
But you're going to jail.
Like a hate crime.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I mean.
But you're going to go to jail anyway for the crime itself, but not for that particular crime.
Okay, but in Texas, he's protected, but not in 28 states. Okay. So that's something that we're going to talk about, and there's some other things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, like you said, the fact that people think that being gay is a physical thing. I mean, it's a mental thing, right? Okay. So that's some of the things we're going to talk about next week. So, question real quick. John, why is it important that we talk about this topic?
To break barriers, to break ignorances and prejudices, to show love, to show how to love, to educate.
Wonderful. Hollie, why did you feel it was important for us to have a gay host on this show?
I mean, if we're talking about this topic, I mean, obviously, it's evident. But I think the diversity, just to be diverse. I mean, we're in Dallas, and it's Dallas Confidential, and you know, there is a gay community in Dallas. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But I'm thanking God we had a gay person on the show. I hate saying that we're a gay person.
I do too.
I'm thanking John for being on the show.
Right. I personally handpicked John. I've been knowing John since I was in the 8th grade and John was in 7th grade. I went to Hollie and said I wanted diversity on the show. I got you, Hollie. I wanted John on the show. I also wanted a Caucasian person on the show, just FYI.
That would have been rough.
I did. I also wanted a millennial on the show. I just want to put that out there also. But I wanted John on the show, first off, because John is probably the most fairest LGBT person that I've known. I've known that John was gay since 8th grade, but John is the most level-minded gay person, mature gay person that I knew. And I knew that John would bring the most mature voice to the community ever. And I thank you for being on this show. I really do. And I tell him this all the time. Be the best John that you can be on this show. Yeah. And I just told him today, I need you to bring John. and I tell him that. Yeah. And so I thank you. And not just on this topic, on all topics. So I'm so happy that you agreed to join the show. Ryan, you got any gay friends?
I think I have growing up, but currently no. I think I have probably co-workers or people you encounter. I mean, because even when we went on our first date, you invited a group of her gay friends out to DG's.
We did go to DG's.
And I ain't gonna lie, when we left from Ruth Chris, and she's like, yeah, some of my homeboys are coming, they're gay, and da-da-da. In my mind, I'm like, I don't know what to expect.
Gay
I don't know what's about to go on.
Strip club.
We're about to go throw some money in the air. And I'm like, I was like, are they going to hit on me? Because I'm just, me as a man, I don't know. And once I got there, they were like some of the coolest dudes in the world. But when she was telling me like him and his fiance are broken up and they're feuding in the background, I'm like, they feud? Like, wait a minute, are they like not beefing? But I don't know what the character.
We had the best time.
But we had the best time in the world, and then it's just an experience that if you're not mature enough to handle the experience in an adult fashion, you're showing how immature you are when you make decisions, when you make immature resolutions towards a situation.
Yeah. So I appreciate, and you love John.
Yeah.
We talk about you all the time down at our house.
I was like Whitney Houston. I seen that video. I was like, oh my god, like, boy, John is something else.
Yeah. So we appreciate you guys so much for tuning in this week. We will pick up the subject. This is the first show that we will do a part 2 on. Every week we say we need a part 2. We will do a part 2 on this show. We will have resources. We will do tools. And we will have more on myths and misconceptions of the gay community next week. Please tune in. We appreciate you. This show does not work without you. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.